Hey guys, we're back, and of course I've got this guy set up and actually running now. My little Acer. We're gonna call it an, what do they call it here? I don't know. What are they calling this thing? I have no idea. It's an Acer. It's got a big line of numbers, letters. XC600, so it's some kind of 600 thing. Yeah, so let's get into it. We got it all set up. Might as well just quickly go through a rundown of what we have, what I'm using here. So this is my, how do you even say that? Zoya? It's a keyless, 10 keyless variety of keyboard, along with my old Eastern Times Tech. And yeah, this thing, nice little mouse. Cord's a little tangled here, so yanks a bit. But anyway, and this of course is my inexpensive keyboard that I got, of course, from the Value Village. All right, here we go. So, and then of course, let's talk about the monitor too. We don't want to miss out on that. This is one of those Asus monitors, a really cheap type monitor, but you know, it's not bad. It's in good shape, the screen's in good shape. It is an Asus VH202, and it runs at 16 by 900, so not a huge resolution, but you know, it's more or less like a laptop, right? Easy to read, good contrast and all that jazz. So that's the monitor. Let's get into the specifics of the system, shall we? So when we go over here, we can see the i3 details. It's got 2 cores, 4 threads, so you know, operating like a 4-core in some ways. And it's running at 2.2, no, that's the voltage, 3.4 gigahertz. So that's going to be pretty snappy actually. So, and it is, you know, a 3rd gen. Main board, we're looking at whatever it is, I guess this is what they're calling it then, XC600, Acer XC600, I guess that's what we'll refer to it as then. Using American Mega Trends Incorporated, so that AMI chip that we saw inside, that must have been the BIOS chip because it was tagged AMI, so that makes sense. Strangely, this was manufactured, it says, if I'm not mistaken, in 2013, but the BIOS predate the manufacturer. So this must be like one of the very earliest BIOS. Interesting. Odd. All right, you know, there we go. There's our DDR3. We saw that already. The Kingston stuff. And yeah, this was in the week of the month of 2013. I can't believe that that's the original because nobody really uses Kingston as a manufacturer, so I'm a little confused on that. But all right, it has the 6 that it says on the actual advertising. So okay, sure, we're gonna go with that. Let's pretend it's original. So yeah, I mean, it runs at, let's see, so the max is 800, runs at 800, yeah, so that's cool. Graphics, of course, are going to be the old on the board type deals. Sorry, integrated graphics. And we can get into the graphics a little more, so let's close this out. And let's get over here, because this is what I wanted to look at. My graphical stuff here. There we go. All right, so yeah, so it's got 32 megabytes of dedicated video RAM, and then it shares the DDR3 RAM up to 1792 megabytes. Here we go. Intel graphics 2500, so that is not great, but we'll find out what we're dealing with. Let's go to about this PC. Let's see what else, other information we can find out about it. Intel, yeah, same story. 64-bit, of course. Why wouldn't it be? It's Windows 10. Okay, here we go. 22H2, Windows Pro, nice. It's the 19045 blah 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 experience, or not experience, but build. So I think this thing needs its final update, I'm sure, to get it to static, which is what we're always aiming for with these systems, is static. Let's close that out. All right, so look at the actual hard drive. It looks like it's got the 1 gig that it advertises on the side here, so that might be originally. Let's take a look. Let's see how many hours it's been running. Oh yeah, 1127. So what does that work out to? Calc to the rescue. So what did we say it was? 1127. Okay. 1127 divided by 365. We got, yeah, three years, just a little bit over 3 years runtime on it, but I don't see any. I see good temperature, and I don't see any kind of warnings, so it seems to be okay. So 1 gig hard drive is nice, even if it has a 3 years wear on it. And getting over here, there's the whole thing. Oh, look at the temps are great. Look at that. Running super cool. Nice. That's the thing about the system. If you look at it, it's like very, very vented. So, you know, that helps, right? Helps a lot to have good venting. And, you know, and so there you go. Let's see what else we can see here. Not much, really. It's Western Digital hard drive. Pioneer DVD RW. There you go. All right, not bad. Okay, so of course the final analysis. How will it do? Let's see if there's anything running. Nope, I think everything's good. I don't see anything that's going to really impact the performance. So let's go with this. And while we're waiting for this to happen, hey, I hope you're having a good Sunday. It's Sunday, November the 16th, and there's proof of it. I always have to check because one day it runs into the next when I'm working from my house. So, yeah, this is just sort of my power cycling process. Okay, I'm liking the graphics already. Nice. Okay, so it looks like it does actually have decent integrated graphics on the board. 2013 was a time when you would get decent graphical performance. I do like that it's a small form factor system. It makes it a lot easier for me to store it. I pretty much am sticking with smaller systems these days. Of course, I'm not actually buying anything these days, so I've got what I got, and I'm happy to have it. So yeah, scoring 704. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Actually surprised me. Yeah, so the graphics didn't turn out to be too bad. 48 with 161. The CPU is good, very good. Of course, the RAM's fine, and the hardware transfer speeds and things like that is great. So all in all, that is a very good score. I could definitely do a lot with this thing, and it doesn't need a graphics card. It's scoring okay. It's doing fine. So there you go, guys. That is gonna be it. What does this say, actually? Close unsaved results. Yes, I do want to close them. Thank you very much. All right, so there you go. So yeah, I'm kind of happy to have this thing. Let's move this over here. Just do a little Firefox. Now, of course, the next step for me is to hook up, because this thing doesn't have a Wi-Fi, I gotta hook up my range extender and do the updating on this thing. So that'll be my next stage of the process. So yeah, so I've just been sort of power cycling these systems on, making sure the caps are good, and kind of giving them a bit of a run. Once I do the full power cycling of all these systems, because that's going to be the first step, is I'm going to start rotating them in and out on every 2 weeks. Because I got to think about, I'm thinking I got about, if you include like the Pis and Mac and stuff, I probably have like if you kind of recycle the computers, or not recycle, if you rotate in the computers every couple weeks, then I'll go through them in a year, and that's my goal. Because I find if you don't power cycle these systems, your caps start to go on you, and different things, just bearings in the fans, things, you know, things of that nature. It just they need to be powered on. They need to be power cycled. If you the best systems are the systems that are running along a lot and frequently, and they don't sit for years on end. It's not uncommon for people who store old classic computers to encounter big problems with their systems, just because they are just sitting too much. And so it's like, use it or lose it is the old expression we used to say, and I think it's still valid today. That's gonna be it, guys. Feel free to comment if you have anything to say. What do you think of this thing? I think it's pretty cool. I mean, it's, like I say, it's very similar to another one, and I think that'll probably be the focus of my next one. It's also an Acer, and it's like kind of the same length, a lot of the same features, but the other one I have is older. I love having systems from the Windows 8 era. I like Windows 8, Windows 10 era systems. I always run Windows 10 on them. I'm not a big fan of Windows 8, the interface. I like a start menu. That's just something I will always like. So I've kind of abandoned Windows 8, but I do actually don't mind Vista, don't mind Windows 7, don't mind XP, but that's as far back as I go. So I'm not really one of these, like, you know, there's a lot of people who are really into these, like Windows 3.1, Windows 95, and that era of computers, and that is not my thing. I lived through that time period, and, you know, it was fun. But honestly, I can emulate those systems perfectly well on one of these systems. And if I really want to get that Windows 98, 95, Windows 3.1 experience, I can emulate it on a system like this and not have to deal with the nightmare of the you know, capacitor flag or IDE hard drives that are just, you know, hard to deal with. And I know there's a you know, you can use like CF cards and stuff like that, but again, what is the appeal? I can actually do something on these things. I can go online with this. I could definitely search the web. I got all the software that I use that is kind of a standardized suite of software. Can't run that on the old system. So that's what I actually use these things. It's strange, but I do. I like to use old systems and play around with them a bit. And I have my own little hobby projects I like to run on them. And yeah, and I think I've mentioned before, I like this desktop wiki idea. I like another program called The Brain. It's really like, it's almost like a mind mapping sort of thing, capturing ideas and stuff. And if you're into that kind of stuff, well, these older systems are perfectly fine. And yes, let's make Windows 10 static, update it to the last available update, and then give it a couple days run, and we'll flip in another system for you guys to see. As well, of course, I have lots of laptops that I have to power cycle. Power cycling the laptops is a lot easier because it doesn't require so much setup. So these, my desktop systems likely will run for a couple weeks in the year, and my laptop systems will run, you know, pretty much for a week or less. Because, well, usually a week. I usually run them for a week. But I'll power cycle a couple too. So I'll run one, power cycle a couple. And just to keep them alive, you know. Got to keep these systems alive. If you're a hobbyist like myself who appreciates these systems and what you collected from the thrift store, I don't know if leaving them in a basement closet or out in your you know, damp garage is the way to go, if you know what I mean. So guys, that's gonna be it. And of course, I like to rotate in all my laptops, or sorry, not laptops, my keyboards and my keyboards and my mice. These funky little colored, you know, backlight things that I've picked up over the years. Each of these keyboards certainly has their own little features and things. So not everybody's cup of tea. A lot of people like the rubber dome. I understand that. I used to work in an office. I would never bring something like this to the office. Too noisy. Way too noisy. Let's lock it out. Let's lock it out. Let's find out. Yeah, nobody wants to hear that anyway. So yeah, that's the thing about me and these keyboards. And I always switch the space bar around if I can. But yeah, I like them. They're fun. They're a toy. They're a toy to me. And these are, you know, this colored cycling cheap. These typically at my thrift store, they sell for under $5, like $3.99, that kind of thing. These run from up to $10 and under, depending on some of them. Like for whatever reason, if they're 10 keyless, they don't have a cord. If you know they have a plug-in type cord and they're missing the cord, suddenly they drop them down to like $7.99. So $8.99. It's just like random. But anyway, I've managed to collect quite a few mechanical keyboards that I like to rotate around, just like I like to rotate around these things. And that will be it, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.